Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, I thought I have already recorded this video, but I thought I had figured out the new software, but I didn't. And when I changed the orientation, it zoomed in really close and you can't really see what I'm doing. So, I'm re-recording it. And what I wanted to do was, my video was about making a card from a card sketch. So, I am using Cards TV sketch, and the cool thing, it has all of these measurements on here. I'm following it except for the oval. I don't have ovals, so I'm using my circles, and I'm using the paper Delightful Floral 12 by 12, and it coordinates with our Translucent Florals stamp and die set. And that's what I'm using today, and I'm using the color in the papers. So I will go ahead. I've already kind of prepped some, but I do want to make more. So let's go ahead and use, let's see, which one do I want to use this time? I wanted a sketch that would really show this paper, because this paper is just so beautiful. And yeah, so I think we'll go with the leaves this time, these beautiful leaves. So we'll go ahead and cut those up. Now for this matte layer, this thing has measurements for, you have your card base here, you have this layer right here, and then this matte layer right here. And then you have this strip, and I'm going to use the front and the back of this. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pool party color, which I think we might use for the mattes. So we're going to do that, and then for my, I'm using circles, so I'm using these circles right here, and I'm just prepping cards. I don't know what sentiment I'm going to put on them. I did do some with anniversary. I'm going to do some with birthday, but I'm going to leave some so I could use them for other things. Maybe congratulations or something like that, because I think these cards are really pretty and will work great for that. I'm using these aren't available anymore, but I'm using the scallop circles and the round circles to create this focal point right here. And then I'm using this sentiment strip, and this is from the Daisy die set. So I'm not going to do the sentiment strip today, but we will do everything else. So let's cut this paper. And this matte layer, you want to make sure you're paying attention to the orientation of your paper. Most of this, I think all of it, has orientation to it. So since I'm going to be using this card base right here, I'm going to cut the width right here. So you see the way my paper is oriented right here? That's the orientation I want this, because this is going to open this way. So when I cut for my orientation for it to go up, I'm going to use the widest measurement, and I'm using the second matte layer because that's the smallest one. So, and that's going to go on top of our background color, which with the pool party being on the back, I'm going to use that because I'm going to use the front and the back for this. So I'm going to need to cut this down. I'm going to need to cut strips that are 4 3/4. So let's go ahead and cut those. Make sure you can see me. Maybe pull this away a little bit. There we go. So 4 3/4, and that's going to give me 2 different strips. There's 1 and 2. Okay, that's 2 strips. Now the other, we're going to turn it, and I'm going to cut this at 3.5 inches. Now with these 2 strips and this measurement, we're going to get a total of 6 cards. Okay, and we're going to use this piece on the card because we're going to flip over and use the back side. So there's that one, and we're going to go ahead and cut this down. And since you already have your orientation figured out with the first cut, you can cut from either end. You'll just need to make sure it's placed on your card base in the correct orientation. And one more. Okay. So here are our 6 pieces. I'm going to make sure they're already facing the right orientation because it looks like I have flipped them. Okay, so these are good. Now I'm going to need 6 pieces for this middle strip right here. And these are 4 3/4 across and 3/4 of an inch this way. Now, since I have these 2 pieces left over from the strips I cut, these are already 4 3/4. I just need to cut them at 3/4 of an inch. And these are actually, the last pieces are 1.5 inches long. So I can just cut these in half. And I have 2 of them here, and then cut this in half as well. Now I'm flipping it over because sometimes my cutter blade kind of gives some rough edges, and I want those rough edges on the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these, this last piece down here to 4 3/4, the width of the card, so I can get 2 more of those strips that go across. So here's the width, 4 3/4, and then we're going to go ahead and cut. I need 2 more at 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So now we've got those pieces cut. Now I need to cut the matte layer that goes behind these cards. And already I can tell I didn't cut some of these correctly. I cut one a little bit too short, I think. Yep. Yeah, this is supposed to, so I got 3. I'll do something with these. That's okay. We got 3 of them. All right. So I have 3 of those strips there. Okay, so now I just need to cut 3, and I'm going to grab Pool Party. Okay, so I'm going to grab Pool Party, and this matte layer is 5 inches this way by 3 3/4 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my 5 first off of, because it's 11 inches this way. Go ahead and cut that down to 5. Cut this down to 5. And then I'm going to turn it and cut it at 3 3/4 of an inch. And I need one more. And for mass producing, I just like to cut a bunch. I'm making some for the church and some for an upcoming bazaar. So I like to just cut all that I need right away and have that done. So I'm going to go ahead and get these attached. I'll get one attached. I'll do the other later. And we'll do it on this Pool Party here. In one of these strips. Yep. Okay. Go ahead and center that on this base. Then I'm going to take this strip, and this is going to go across the middle. And it only covers this DSP right here, right on the middle. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, make sure it's straight. That looks good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to my card base. And I'm just gonna center this, and it leaves a big white border, which I really like for this design a lot. All right, there is that part done so far. Now I need to cut a scallop that I want here, my scallop circle. I have one from a previous one, but I just don't know if that would look right on there. I don't think so. I don't think I like that on there. It's fun to play with color. I have these other ones. No, I don't think so. I think that I do have some round, so I won't cut that, but I'll maybe I'll do it in the pool party, since that's the color I have on the base. So I will get this piece here and cut my scallop, which I think is this one. It is. So we'll die cut that, and I've already got the round that nests in there cut. So what we need to do is cut this. And I'm going to die cut that out. Okay, there is that. And then we're going to go ahead and attach a white circle that fits within that on here. Okay. So we've got that attached, and now we can attach this to the center of our card here. All right, so that looks good to me. Now I have to decide what kind of flower. I already had some cut out from previous, but I don't think I want to use them. Let's see what they look like first. That pink might look good there. Kind of like the pink. I think we'll go with the pink one. So that's really pretty. It's kind of calming. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll have this little pink one right here. I do need to cut out a stem. So what's really neat about the stamp and die set, so I use this stamp right here, and that gave me that flower. And then this stamp right here gave me this flower. There is a stamp, a green stem stamp, and there is a die that's for the stem, and it's the little tiniest. And I do need to cut another one. Oh, I have it out already. It's this little die right here, and it cuts out the stem. And it's really small, but I'll show you how to attach it and work with it. It's not as hard as it looks, or as it might look. It's pretty simple to do. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this parakeet party here. Okay, and I'm actually going to cut this in half because this will do 2 of those dies. I'm just eyeballing where half is. And then we're going to go ahead and die cut this stem. And you can see I've already been using it. I've made a bunch of these cards already because I have washi on it so that I can make sure it doesn't move on me while I'm cutting it. Okay. All right, so this is the stem that it cuts. It's really tiny, but it works really, really well for this, the look of this card. So we're gonna go ahead and start assembling the flower. So for the flower, I'm gonna flip it over, and this is the bottom of the flower. I'm gonna flip it over so the bottom's on the bottom. And I'm gonna take some of my score tape. And I'm gonna put a piece here on the bottom of that and just make sure it's burnished really good. Then I'm gonna cut another piece for the top because that's how we're gonna attach it to the card. I'm just gonna lay it across the top here, okay? So next I'm gonna go ahead and remove the backing of this one that we placed on the bottom here. I'm gonna grab my stem. Now you can tell, you can't tell on camera because it is very, very tiny, but you can tell which side is the front and which side is the back. So I'm gonna flip it so the back is facing up since I have this in reverse, and I'm just gonna go ahead and attach the stem right there. And then I'm gonna take another piece of score tape. And I'm gonna put that right over the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just getting it so it'll stay there between those two pieces of tape. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove the backing, and plus it gives it a place to stick on the card. So I'm gonna move the backing for both of those, bring this back in, move this flower off for right now. Okay, and now I am gonna put the tiniest bit of glue on the leaf. I do very lightly, or on the stem. I just want enough on there so that the stem sticks. That's all I need, is just the tiniest bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my flower. And just press on that stem. And then now you've got that down. You could add leaves and stuff, but I didn't want to. I liked it the way it was, just simple. Now the sentiment, I've cut these from the daisy set. I'm putting right here, and I'll show you some samples with whatever my sentiment is right there. I might embellish some more, but I'm not really sure about that. So for the inside though, I do always like to do, most of the time, not always, like to do something on the inside. So I'm going to take some Parakeet Party, and I'm going to take this stem that's from the translucent floral stamp set, this one right here, and I'm just going to get a small section of it inked up. And then I'm just going to go in the corner here and just stamp that. That's all I'm going to do for that. Then I'm going to take my reverse tweezers here, grab onto that since it's little, and get some glue on the back of this, and then attach it to my stem there. And I think that's just real pretty and simple on the inside. Plenty of room to write. So there is my card, almost finished. I just need to figure out what I want to put on there for a sentiment. And I think that bubble bath looks really great with those other colors. That was fun to use the pool party. So let me show you some of the others I've made. This one doesn't, these don't have sentiments on it yet. And I'm still working on this. These are the set I made on video that didn't work out. So I'm trying a different orientation. So I still have to add the flowers to these, but I do have some that I have finished with sentiments. And right now I'm doing the anniversary. So here they are with a sentiment on them. You could add more embellishments, you know, gems, bows, whatever. I may not. I kind of like them the way they are. So here they are with some different colored flowers. Here's the other leaf pattern that they have in there with more of the pretty peacock color in there, and just some other flowers. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you try out a sketch or something. I have been wanting to use up some paper. I have a lot of paper, so I was keeping it, you know, at bay for a little while, but they had such pretty paper, I just wanted to get it. So now I am trying to make some cards with the paper I have. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you craft along, and I'll catch you on the next one.